Hello humans, my name is Bethany. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. So today's class is going to be just a shoulder, neck, kind of upper body release. If you've been sitting all day or if you've been kind of hunched over or in the same position, this would be great to kind of release from the end of the day. Of course, you can always do it at the beginning of the day. Just do whatever works for you. We're going to get started seated at the top of our mat, and you will need 2 blocks and a strap for this class, so you can just set those at the front of your mat. So just gently cross your legs, hands are going to come to the tops of the knees. We're going to find a nice tall spine, and we're going to tuck the chin in towards our throat just slightly so that the back of our neck is nice and long. We're going to take a big inhale, in through the nose, and then sigh it out of the mouth. Closing the eyes, just beginning to settle into your breath, letting go of any stress from the day, grounding your 2 sit bones into the mat, allowing yourself to be still. Just taking 2 more breaths here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling. So keeping our spine nice and tall, we're going to reach the left hand out beside us. The right hand is going to come to the left ear, and just take the right ear to the shoulder. You can stay here with your neck still, or you can draw the chin in towards the chest, maybe drop the head back and just work different parts of your neck that are tight. Maybe you slowly move back and forth. If you would like to intensify this pose, you can float the fingertips up off of the mat. We're going to stay here, just bring some small movements, letting that whole muscle, this big one on the left side of our neck, release. Well, a bunch of little muscles too. Maybe reach the fingertips a little bit further, let gravity take over the head. And then slowly releasing the head, coming back to center. Right hand comes down to the mat, left hand comes over to the right ear. Draw the left ear to the shoulder and find the same movement on this side. So you can reach the fingertips further, you can float the hand up off of the mat. But allow your head to just fall over. We're not forcing it down. Again, maybe staying where parts of your neck are tight, so you can stay with your chin down or your head back. Reach the fingertips a little bit further. Take 1 more breath, inhaling. And then on your exhale, slowly release. Take the head back up to center. Take both hands behind your head. Clasp them together. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Keep the spine nice and tall. And then just draw the chin in towards the chest. So just allowing the back of the neck, those facet joints to open. We're not forcing the chin to the chest, but just gently bringing it down. Keeping the spine tall, so we're not rounding in the back, but the spine is still tall. It's just our neck that's being bent. And then slowly come all the way back up to center. Take the hands behind your back, find a clasp, and press the hands to the back of the mat, and gently drop the head back so that the chin is up towards the ceiling. Let the chest open up, squeezing the shoulders and trying to lift the hands up even higher. And then slowly take the head back up, release the hands, and then take your strap beside you. Unrolling the strap, we're gonna take the right hand overhead first. Take the strap in your right hand. And so that right elbow's up towards the ceiling. You're trying to touch between your shoulder blades with the right hand, and then take the left hand behind you and underneath and grab onto the strap. So that left elbow is down, right elbow is up, and we're just gonna slowly walk the fingertips towards each other, kind of walking them up the strap or down the strap. Keep the spine nice and tall. Just working on our internal and external rotation in our shoulders. And take 3 big breaths. Maybe walking the hands a little bit closer. And then slowly releasing. We're going to switch sides, so keeping the strap in the left hand. Left elbow is going to come up towards the ceiling. Right hand comes behind. Grab onto the strap. And then just gently walk your hands closer to each other. Keep the spine tall. And you may notice that one side feels a little bit different than the other. Take 3 breaths. Walk the hands a little bit closer. Take 1 more breath. And then slowly release the strap, setting the strap down to the side, coming into a tabletop position. Shoulders go right over the wrists, hips right over the knees, and do 3 cat-cows at your own breath, dropping the belly on your inhale. Looking forward, and then rounding on the exhale and letting the head feel nice and heavy. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round in the shoulders, press the mat away from you. Inhale, and then exhale. So staying in your tabletop position, come back to a neutral spine. We're going to take the 2 blocks that we have in front of us, and they're going to be on the flat side. If you need a little bit more intensity, they can be up on the tall side. But you're going to let the blocks be about shoulder width apart. In this pose, we're going to come into puppy dog pose with our elbows on the block. The hips are going to stay right over the knees. Elbows are going to come onto the blocks. Hands are going to connect, and then you may have to walk the knees forward or backwards, and we're just going to press the chest down towards the mat. The head can rest down onto the mat if that's comfortable. And you may even walk the elbows a little bit closer to the edges of the mat to give you some space. Hands connect, and then we reach the thumbs between our shoulder blades. So we're just opening up through the heart. Working on our shoulder mobility. Stretching the muscles at the front part of our chest. Pressing a little bit deeper. If you need more intensity, you can always walk the knees back just slightly. Keep those thumbs between your shoulder blades. Spread through the fingertips and press your hands together. Forehead may touch the mat. And then slowly begin to walk the knees a little bit closer to the blocks. Come all the way back up. We're going to take the blocks back to the side, off of the mat. And then from here, tuck the toes and find your first downward facing dog. Drawing the belly in, bicycle the knees, nod the head yes and no, release any tension in your jaw and your neck. Come up onto the toes and take the heels up and down. Whenever you're ready, look up between the thumbs and gently walk your feet between your thumbs, forward fold. Bend the knees slightly, grab your hands with your hands. Clasp your hands behind your back, and then we're going to find that clasp opening up through the heart, and then just gently fold the chest over the thighs. Let the head hang heavy and reach the palms and the back of the hands up towards the ceiling. So you can rock side to side. Maybe you straighten out one leg, then you kind of bicycle your legs or straighten out both legs. Again, letting the head hang heavy. And then slowly bend at the knees, reach up with the arms, rise to stand. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Find a flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back to your high plank. Keep the core engaged, and we're keeping the neck nice and long here so the chin is still tucked into the throat. Shift forward slightly on the toes, keep the elbows tucked into the side, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, rise up for a cobra, thighs stay on the mat, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Looking up between the thumbs, on your exhale, find a forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Bend at the knees, rise to stand, inhale. And then exhale, fold. Head drops down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back to your high plank. Shift forward slightly, exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, rise up for upward facing dog, thighs are up off of the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg rises up, hips stay squared. We're still pressing into the shoulders, and then as slow as you can, on your exhale, round in the back, draw the knees into the chest, or the right knee into the chest, and then wiggle that foot up in between the thumbs, spin onto that back heel so that back foot's at a 45-degree angle, and then rise up with the arms, warrior one. So we're reaching up towards the ceiling, right knee's right over the ankle. We're spreading through the toes and grounding ourselves here. And then clasp your hands behind your back. Find that opening up in through the chest. And then on your exhale, fold for humble warrior. Hands are reaching up towards the ceiling. You can always grab opposite shoulder blades, not opposite elbows. Here, this is more available to you. So opposite elbows, not shoulder blades. Lift the hands up towards the ceiling. And then take the hands down to the mat, around the right foot, step back, and then run through your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Left leg rises up, keep the hips squared. And then as slow as you can, draw that knee into the chest, round in the back, and then wiggle that foot up in between the thumbs. Take that right heel down to the mat, hips are squared to the front of the mat, and then rise up, warrior one. So we want to make sure that our lower body's nice and grounded. Find that clasp with your hands behind your back, and then exhale for humble warrior. Press the hands up towards the ceiling. Keep the gaze down at the mat. The neck is still nice and long. Still staying connected with that breath. Allowing your chest to open. And then slowly release the hands down around the left foot. Step back to your plank and run through your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Shake the head side to side, nod the head, and let the cheeks feel heavy. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale as you shift to plank. Keep the core engaged, and as slow as you can, elbows stay into the side. Lower all the way down to your belly. So from here, we're going to come into a stretch on the back side of our body, so between our shoulder blades. Right hand is going to cross over to the left side, off the left side of the mat. palm is facing down, and then left hand reaches over to the right side, palms facing down. And then just let your chin rest on that left arm. Stretching all through the back side of our body. Staying with the breath. Reach the fingertips a little bit further. And then slowly walk the hands back. Take the hands in a clasp behind your back and press open up through the chest. Squeeze the thighs. And then slowly switching. Left hand comes on bottom this time. Take it over off the right side of the mat. And then right arm crosses. Rest your chin onto the right arm. Gently close your eyes and just breathe. And then slowly release. Hands come behind the back. Find that clasp. Open up through the chest. And then left hand comes about where the armpit is. Right hand reaches out beside you. Palm is facing down. We're going to keep the chest on the mat and then very slowly turn so that the left shoulder comes up off of the mat, comes towards the ceiling. Right leg can stay straight, left leg can bend. And we're just opening up through the front part of the right shoulder. So right anterior humeral head. And then slowly come back. Left hand reaches out beside you, palms facing down. Right hand is right where the armpit is. And then slowly turn. Right shoulder comes up towards the ceiling. Right foot comes down to the mat. Left leg stays straight. And then slowly come all the way back to center. Tuck the toes. Take the kneecaps up off of the mat. Both hands are where the armpits are. Engage the core and then press up to your high plank and then downward facing dog. Draw the belly in. Look up between the thumbs. Find your forward fold. Bend at the knees. Rise to stand. Reach up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Find your strap. We're going to take the strap in our hands. Just take the strap in front of you. Palms are facing down. Hands are around the strap. And then just slide the hands out a little bit further than shoulder width apart. Stay grounded through the feet. Lift the arms up overhead. And then let the hands slide out just slightly to where they catch right behind your shoulders. So it should feel like a stretch on the front part of your body. So we're not arching in the back here, but we're keeping the core engaged, keeping the spine tall. Chin stays tucked into the throat. We want to find that nice double chin. It's really cute. And gently drop the left hand down, the right hand reaches up. Maybe you turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. Come back to center, right hand drops down, reach up with the left hand. And then slowly come back. Let the hands fall down just a little bit. And then reach the arms up overhead. Let the strap come down. Take the feet a little bit further than hip width distance apart. Finding our eagle arms, right arm is going to come underneath. Connect the hands, reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Elbows are about at your eye level. Again, you can grab opposite shoulder blades here if this is easier for you. Lift the hands up and then soft bend in the knees, forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Sway side to side. Take the head yes and no. Slowly bend at the knees, rise up, reach up. Switching arms, left arm comes underneath, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, soft bend in the knees and fold forward at the hips. And then slowly come all the way up, unwind the arms. And so stepping off the mat, just finding a wall or a rail, whatever is most comfortable for you, or whatever is available to you. We're going to take the hands onto the rail. The palms are going to face down, or you can come onto the wall. The palms are on the wall. But what we're going to do is just draw the belly in, hips stay right over the feet. You might have to walk your feet back and then just press the chest down towards the floor. Opening up through the heart. So this is basically puppy dog pose like we did at the beginning, but you can get a little bit deeper because the floor is not in the way. And then slowly coming all the way back up. We're going to come into our final pose. You're going to take both blocks. We're going to come down to a seated position. So the first block is going to be closest to you. It's going to go right, or closest to your hips. It's going to go right underneath, kind of like your bra line between your shoulder blades. And then you're going to take this other block and it's going to go up on the tall side, and it's going to go under your head. So I suggest crossing your legs. You can keep your legs straight. And then first we're going to find our block placement underneath our shoulders. So it's going to be right underneath your chest, right on the bra line. And then take this block, the taller one, and place it underneath your head so that your head has a nice supported placement. The neck is going to be long, the chin is kind of tucked into the chest, and we're just going to let the arms splay out to the side. So placing your hands just kind of down by your side is going to stretch your pec minor. And if you reach those arms up overhead, kind of like a V, you're going to be stretching more of your pec major. So just do whichever one feels the best, whichever one you think needs to be stretched. One side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. And then slowly taking those hands up towards the ceiling, doing some circles with the wrists. We're going to slowly come up with the head, remove that block, set it to the side, come all the way up and take the other block off of the mat. And we're going to come into our final Shavasana. So just lying down, rest the head, feet splay out to the side. Begin to feel your breath. And maybe feel how different it might be from the beginning of the practice when all these muscles in your chest were a little bit tighter. Maybe the breath feels a little bit deeper. Maybe your heart feels a little more open. And just let your feet and your hands and your head and your hips feel especially heavy in the mat. Allow yourself to just unwind, to let go of any stress, to let go of analyzing the future or the past. And allowing yourself to just be, allowing yourself to take that pause. And then staying here in this Savasana as long as you like. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I hope that you take this openness and your intention and this presence into the rest of your day. Namaste.